What's up, YouTube? Now, I've been canning a whole bunch the past couple months here because my garden has been producing so much vegetables, I just don't know what to do with them. It's very important not to put your hot jars fresh from the canner on a cold countertop or a table. That can cause the jars to shock and break. Now, usually I just use dish towels, but because I've been canning so much, I've been going through Mother's dish towels like crazy, and she wasn't very happy. So today, I'm going to make a quilted canning mat that's the perfect thing to put my hot jars on. So the things that you're going to need to make this quilted canning mat are some cotton fabric. I got this print at Walmart, and I thought it was just too cute. It has lettuce, carrots, chili peppers, olives, tomatoes, so I thought it'd be the perfect print for this canning mat. You're also going to need some sort of batting. This happens to be 80% cotton and 20% polyester. You could use all cotton, you could use flannel, anything that you have really. And even though it's controversial, I say go ahead and use polyester. This is going to be so thick that even with the heat of the jars, the polyester is not going to melt. Relax, people. And finally, you're going to need an old towel. This one is starting to fray at the edges, and I don't think Mother will care that I cut it up. And plus, it kind of matches the fabric. And like I said, because this towel is going to go on top, even if you use polyester, it's so thick, I don't think the polyester is going to melt. I've actually done one with polyester, and it's just fine. You're also going to need your sewing machining thread, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and cut my towel. Now I did make this one. This is the one that has polyester batting, and it's just too small. I do like it if I'm doing smaller batches of stuff, but if I'm doing a couple of batches, I need a bigger towel. So I decided I want mine to be 18 inches wide by 32 inches long. So the first thing that I'm going to do is fold my towel in half the hot dog way, matching it up as much as possible. Now, as you can see, most towels have this little decorative piece right here. I'm going to cut that off. So I'm going to make sure that my 32 inches is somewhere in between the middle of the towel. So with my rotary cutter, just hack it off. Now I'm just going to open it back up, and I'm going to fold it the other way, in half. And now I'm just going to cut this to 18 inches wide. Alright, so now I have a rectangle here that measures 18 inches wide by 32 inches long. And if the sides are a little wavy, sometimes these towels like to move and bend on you. That's okay, because we're going to hide that with our binding. So now I just went ahead and I cut my batting piece the exact same size as the towel. So I cut this piece 18 inches wide by 32 inches long. And I'm just going to lay that on top of the towel here. Just like that. I'm going to flip it over, smooth out my towel, because I want my edges to match exactly. Now that I have it nice and smooth flat, I'm just going to throw a couple pins in here to hold the pieces together. Alright guys, so now you just want to throw this off to the side for just one moment. And go ahead and grab your backing piece. Now this backing piece is also going to fold around to be our binding. I wanted a pretty thick binding on here to cover any of my mistakes, so I ended up cutting this 22 inches wide by 36 inches long. That's 4 inches wider and longer than our towel and our batting. So now I'm just going to open this up so the pretty side is facing down. So now I'm just going to take my ruler here, and I'm going to measure 2 inches up and 2 inches over. And make a line. Alright guys, so now I have this little L here, and like I said, it's 2 inches up from the bottom and 2 inches over from the side here. And that's just going to help me with my placement when I put my towel and my batting on here to make sure I have equal amounts of binding all the way around. So I'm going to continue to do that to all 4 corners. So now you just want to grab your batting and your towel piece, and I'm going to line up the corners here with the corners that I drew. Now I like to line up one edge first. The batting likes to catch your fabric and make it wrinkle up here. So I have this side lined up nicely. So I'm going to stick a couple pins through all 3 layers. So now I'm just going to flip this over. I have this side right here secure. And I'm going to smooth out my fabric. Just like that. Now carefully flip it back over. And you want to go ahead and try to line up your other corners. Alright guys, so I have all 4 of my corners pinned down here. So now I'm just going to take my ruler around the edge here and make sure I have 2 inches. Give or take. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. So now where we pinned in the beginning here, I'm going to take that pin out and go through all 3 layers. Just to make sure my towel doesn't move. And now we just want to do the binding. Now I've done this binding in a few different videos and it's super easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold the raw edge of the fabric over to meet the raw edge of the towel. And then I'm going to fold that over one more time. Just like that. And stick some clips or pins. Now, like I said, because we have such a wide binding here, it's going to hide any mistakes that we have. So now when we get to the corner, you're just going to continue like we've been doing and fold your fabric right off the edge, just like that. Next, I'm going to fold it over to form a triangle, just like that, and continue to do exactly what we're doing. So I'm going to fold this over to the raw edge and fold it over one more time. That way we get a nice, pretty mitered corner. And stick a clip there. Alright guys, I'm over here at my sewing machine. And today I'm just going to use a zigzag stitch. My length is a 2 and my width is a 4. More like a 3.5. Now this is the perfect time to use one of those decorative stitches that you hardly ever get to use. On my other ones I have done a decorative stitch, but this one I just want to be nice and easy. So I'm going to start here in the middle. Don't forget to backstitch. And I'm going to line up the edge of my binding here with the middle of my presser foot. And just keep sewing. Alright guys, so I'm coming up here to my corner, and I'm going to sew right up to the corner. Just like that. I'm going to stop with my needle down, raise your presser foot, and spin. And just keep sewing. Alright guys, so I'm coming up to my second corner and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to sew right up to the corner. I'm going to stop with my needle down, raise my presser foot, and spin. Now I'm just going to continue to sew this on the rest of the way, making sure you backstitch at the end. Alright guys, I have my binding all sewed down here. Now the final step we're going to do is I'm going to tie these layers together. So one thing I forgot to mention in the beginning is you're going to need some crochet thread. Now I'm going to do 3 ties here at the top, 3 ties here at the bottom, and then 2 right here in the middle. Now I'm just going to eyeball the spacing here, but you could measure if you want to. So you just want to get a needle with some crochet thread. I'm going to go down through all 3 layers. I'm going to come up, and I grabbed about a 1/4 inch of the fabric. So I'm going to take this end right here. I'm going to wrap it around 2 times. And you want to give it a gentle tug. You don't really want to pull hard right here because it'll pucker right there. Now I'm just going to go around the other way 2 times. And you can pull that snug. Now just clip off any extra threads, leaving about a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch tail. Just like that. And remove your pin. Alright, so now I'm just going to pull this down. And I'm going to find about the middle mark. I'm going to remove my pin and do the same thing. I'm going to go through all 3 layers, catching about a 1/4 inch of fabric. I'm going to wrap this end around 2 times and pull. Not too tight. So now I'm just going to go the other way. Wrap that around 2 times again. And this time pull snug. Just clip your threads. Now I'm going to continue to do this and I'll show you what it looks like on the counter. Alright guys, you can see that our quilted canning mat is finished. And I have plenty of room for all my canned goods. Right here I have some beef stew that I'll be showing you how to make in an upcoming video. I have some fermented sauerkraut. I made this with the cabbage from my garden. Some homemade rotel, which is tomatoes, onions, and Anaheim peppers from my garden. And I've also have some corn cob jelly here that I just made with the leftover cobs when I canned up a bunch of corn. And you can see I have plenty more room here. These make the perfect gift for any of your canning friends. And if you don't have any canning friends, these also make a perfect towel to dry your dishes on. It's nice, thick, and absorbent. Now here is the very first one that I made. I showed you in the beginning of the video. And like I said, I like this a lot. I just wanted a bigger size. This one fits my counter perfectly. And I also made a second one that's the exact same size as this one we just made. And I just think this turned out great also. I use this nice black fabric in a dark green towel. Well, I hope you give this project a try. If you like my videos and want to see more of my videos, go down below and hit the big red subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. If you have a question about this video or any of my other videos, or would just like to leave a suggestion for a future upcoming video, leave me a comment. Feel free to share this video across your social medias. And as always, thanks for watching. Happy canning and sewing, and I'll see you next time.